What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Mahaffey, and I am the host of the Chaotic Grind Show. And what I'm doing here is I set up a Kick account, and I'll put this on Spotify and maybe YouTube, I don't know. But we're going to start doing Kick shows, and basically all I'm doing here is I have a laser. I spend some time here and I make stuff with the laser, and I figured why not show it to you guys. Yeah, so like I said, I have a podcast. It's called The Chaotic Grind Show. It's everywhere you listen to podcasts at. We don't do a lot of them. It's kind of time consuming and scheduling people and getting everyone's calendar together. It sucks. So I figured I could do this in the meantime and just make some stuff in my shop. And as far as this goes, we can talk about whatever. You can hit me up in the chat. I'll try to do them as often as possible. So like, subscribe, do whatever you do on here. All my social media stuff's in the bio, I think, so you can go on there and hit whatever you like to use. I'm on X, Instagram. Yeah, so a little bit about me is I'm an electrical contractor. That's what I do. That's my main gig. I have a website, thechaoticgrind.com, and that's where we sell merch, and I sell a lot of open box stuff. I put things on there occasionally. And that was all set up to try to help promote American companies that make stuff here in America and try to give them a place to sell outside their own website. But and then we talk about it on the show and stuff. But that's a slower process. So what I do is I sell my own stuff, and the open box stuff, I can control that a little bit better. So check that out if you want, or don't. That's fine. But yeah, so if you guys want, I talk. I'm an electrical contractor. I've been in construction my whole life. I did about 5 years in the oil field. I was in real estate. I flipped houses. I did a little bit of everything. So if there's anything like that you're interested in, learn about, talking about, I'm here. We can do it. And we could do that more often. So right here, this is a big laser. I can engrave wood and slate, leather, whatever. I cut stuff out. I could do metal, like I can't engrave metal, but I can mark it. So basically, I spray stuff on there, and then I gut, and it comes out, and it looks kind of like that. That's what I could do with metal on there. But other than that, I could do wood. I could do whatever. But we could check that out today, and I'll just give you a little show. And then if you guys want to do something where you want to see me make something, you can hit me up in the chat, or email me, whatever you want to do. Get a hold of me, and we'll make it. So here, we'll check it. I'm new to this, so you gotta kind of excuse me. I'm trying to figure out how to use the computer and all that stuff. I'm not as talented as some, but what I got here is, let's see, this one. Let's check this out. So here's something that I make. I put this design on cigar boxes. We'll make this a little bit bigger, so let me get my mouse out. Make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. So what I got is a piece of wood in there right now. It's just a blank piece of wood that I had. And we will put this picture on that piece of wood that's in my laser. And I will show you that in a minute. We'll come over here, we'll draw. This is how I do it. So if you're familiar with these lasers, this is a Thunder 63100 or 63130 watts. So 63 inches big, 130 watts. That's the power that it uses. So on this program, this is called Lightburn, and that's what makes everything happen on the laser. So on here, we want to make the wood is 7 by 9. So width would be 9. 9. Oh, I got that wrong. 9 and 7 is the height. Now we'll take this guy. We will turn him like that. And we'll just try to center him in there. Alright, now with this I can make it bigger, smaller. That size of that square I have on the screen there is the size of the wood. So I can go inside of that. So I can make them a little bit wider. That'll look cool. Alright, now with this, for whatever reason it doesn't want to work. Which I do not understand why it doesn't want to work. I think I've been messing up here. That's why I don't want to work. Alright, back on track here. Gotta click the little arrow. Alright, image, adjust image, and this is where you make this adjustment for the image. So this is what it will come out looking like. If you, there's different options here and they look a little bit different on each one, and depending on your material and laser, it'll probably look different. But that's Stucky. It's called Stucky. That's where you can, it's like the pixels or something. Like you can kind of see here. Like the difference. The pixels, I guess. I don't know what the terminology of it is, but there, that's a little bit more solid. If you go to Stucky, that seems to always work the best. Jarvis newsprint looks like a newspaper if you look at the pictures on the newspaper. So zoom out a little bit, and I think that'll be just fine. So now we have that. Delete the box. Go to this thing, hit center. Center that. It puts that little dot in the center of that, and whenever you go to put it on a laser, that's where it will start. And we'll do it. We'll do it right now. Let me go back to this. Alright, so first we got to turn on the laser. And we'll have to walk you through the process of that. So after the laser's turned on, you can send this. Well, first, wait, hold up. Moving stuff. I gotta plug it in. Alright, after you get your laser on, you can send it, but we gotta mess with the power. So your speed is how fast the laser moves, and your power is how much it will engrave in. So this, we're not trying to really engrave in, we're just trying to put it on the wood. But we can make it, the more power, the more it will engrave in and mark it. I turn our air on, or no, turn it off. If you're cutting, you turn the air on. If you're engraving, you turn the air off, but you can still adjust it. And that helps get rid of the the smoke, and it keeps the flame down for the power. Because it is a laser, and that is wood, and it will light on fire, it will burn. That's what it does. So 17, we'll try 17 out, because it's just little, it's like 1/8 inch plywood. Alright, I think everything looks fantastic. And we can see how long it will take too. Go up to here to preview. It's saying five hours. I don't think that's right. If it takes 5 hours, we'll just stop, and I'll show you a box that I made. So send. Oh, I guess we didn't need the image with it. Oh well. Well, this is what we're making. Alright, now we go over to the laser. And I have already, can you guys see me? Yeah. So typically you want to make sure your board is straight where you want it. I measure off this rail on the front, if you care. You find the center of your board, or whatever you're doing. You could do the corners, you could do the middle, you could do the middle of the sides. I'd choose the center of most stuff. I just put that little, there's a little dot on there. If you could see it on the camera, you can't. That's close enough. Then you gotta use this little thing and measure how far off your laser is from the board or whatever you're doing. And everything's in millimeters with this stuff. So you gotta go 6. With this laser, they say 6 millimeters is where you want it. Mine seems to work better around 7, 6.5, 7. Set like 7. I don't know if there is a half a millimeter. After a half a millimeter. So alright, that's ready to go. Come over here, I hit, I'll have to show you guys on this one time. But there's origin and frame it. That's where it will engrave. I don't know how loud this is going to be, but we'll try it out. And hit start. And there you go, it's going. Could have probably used a little bit more power. It's a different type of wood that design I put on cigar boxes. But, so that's why the power is where it was at, because cigar boxes are thin and you don't want to burn through them. This is a little bit thicker, it can handle a little bit more power. Point across, and we'll do some cool, more elaborate things down the road, but I just wanted to kind of kick this thing off on kick. And show you guys what I do. I make signs. I made this sign. Like that. And I make that. Which is cool. I got them in different colors. I kind of just got started on the signs. Trying to be a little original with them, but it's just time consuming. I am an electrical contractor. That takes up most of my time, and then whenever I get free time, I play with this thing. Or make podcasts. But yeah, if you never heard of it, it's the Chaotic Grind Show. It's everywhere. Me and a couple started off with me and a couple of my buddies, and then I had some other people on, and it's humorous. There's some value. You gain some value. We talk business on there. Some life-changing type stuff. Could be if you're in certain situations, but that's what I do on, that's what the Chaotic Grind Show is. We started it to help promote American-made companies, and that's been a journey, and we got a couple people that I had on there One's Masculine Man deodorant. The guy who makes that is on there. A couple other business owners were on there. It's fun stuff. And look at that. I can't zoom in on that camera. That's inside the laser. I can zoom in on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if I would have turned the power up, it would have been a little bit deeper, maybe a little bit darker. But once it's done, I'll sand it down a little bit. Sometimes that brings it out a little bit. See smoke coming off there. There it goes. That's it. I'm no expert on the laser. I know enough, like my terminology probably isn't good because I don't really like know anybody else that has one to talk laser, but I figured this out on my own, and it's, well, YouTube videos, but a lot of it's trial and error. So you play around. I think the hardest part was figuring out the settings. There's other stuff you gotta do. You gotta learn about the laser itself too. It's not really complicated, but when you first get it, it is. Kind of hard not to watch. You're not supposed to look at the laser. I do. You shouldn't. Sometimes you gotta make sure it's doing the right thing, but it's one of those things that's it's like one of the things you gotta watch. You just want to. It was not 5 hours, it's more like 5 minutes, I think. All right, let's check it out. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's pretty cool, huh? Knowing now with this plywood, now I know to go a little bit to do with a little bit more power. So you sand it down. Sometimes when you sand these things down, brings out the color in it a little bit more. So it'll bring out like more of the little lines. You don't do a lot, you just do a little bit, and then Sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, that's it. It's pretty sweet. And then do stuff on some slate. I seen videos where people would take like a block of wood and they basically layer it down, and you guys spend some time on that program, but you can make layers where it will actually, like let's say you wanted to make a mountain or like a triangle or something, and you can make you take a block of wood and you put it in there, and it will laser around the first thing, and then you go down, 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 and then you make this 3D image. I have not yet to do that because you have to do different powers and different settings, and yeah, it's not really. Maybe one day I'll make a sculpture with my laser out of wood, but I doubt it. But anyway, so that's just a little introduction of me, the Chaotic Grind. And that's it. I mean, I got other stuff planned to do this, but I just kind of wanted to get on here, get started, and introduce myself and start getting people on board. So if you think this is something you're into or interested in, like, share, follow, click, whatever, do whatever you do on here, and subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. But other than that, that's all I got for today, but just thought that would be something cool. We can look forward to doing a lot more. So, good night.